welcome to Locally Owned and Locally Grown. Today we're sitting down with Justin of Lepley Co. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for coming out and joining us here.
It was our pleasure. This place is so cool, and we're so excited to be here. And I think what everybody wants to know is, because this is just such a little tucked away jewel in Massillon, how did this happen?
Yeah, a lot of love went into it, so it's kind of an interesting story. In May of 2020, so right in the kind of start of the pandemic, I was actually graduating law school from Case Western, and all of a sudden I had time. Classes went remote. My other school obligations were just Zoom, and so I started to go a little crazy. I had time for the first time in a number of years.
Absolutely.
And so I started a blog, and I called it Lepley Co. And one of the first blog posts was this little pop-up card table in the devil strip of our yard, trying to get rid of some mint plants.
Oh.
And it wasn't an economic endeavor. The only reason I even didn't just give them away is because I just bought the pots in the soil.
Sure.
But that was the seeds of Lepley Co.
That's awesome. So
yeah.
it just started on your devil strip in Akron, right?
Yeah. And then from there we opened at Northside Marketplace. Sort of out of spite, my fiance was mad people were killing the grass, and I was like, fine, I'll get a storefront.
Yeah,
So we went there, but we really needed back-end space. At that point, I was potting everything in my driveway. I was out there till the middle of the night.
Awesome.
And winter was coming. And so...
it's a Game of Thrones reference.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Winter was coming. It was.
And so in fall of 2020, I found this place on Craigslist of all things.
Yeah.
And the seller was willing to finance and help us out. And it was close to abandoned at the time.
Yeah.
It was sealed up, but there was plywood on every single wall. The windows were broken out with steel plates.
And this is an old train depot, right?
Train depot.
It's amazing. You guys have to come see it. It's so cool.
It dates back to the 1800s.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And has lived a lot of different things in its life, which is cool. And the trains still go right behind us here, so when people stop out,
experience.
You get it, and everything rattles a little bit. But yeah, my dad and grandfather put over 600 hours each into helping us bring it back to life.
That's amazing.
Grandpa actually repainted all the windows from the 1940s and made the oak storm windows from scratch.
No kidding.
So, like I said, a lot of love really came into the space to make it cool.
Amazing. And so, like, what would you say? Like, are you just the plant guy, or what do you do here? What can we tell people? What are your services?
Yeah, we do a lot of different things, which is interesting. But I usually sum it up as we're a plant boutique. So we have tropical house plants, succulents, all that fun stuff. But then we also have represented a few dozen local artisans, makers, vendors in the space as well.
Yeah, I can see that. There's all kinds of little unique artisanal things in here.
Very much. You can make your office warm, your house a nice warm spot, or give a gift. And then the other major part of our business that's really grown is the florist department. So we've got the 3 locations now, and we deliver in all of Stark and Summit County. And floral really makes up one of the biggest parts of our business.
No doubt.
So that started a year ago, Valentine's Day, so 2021, right behind us. We had a space, and I was like, why not?
Yeah.
And we've learned a lot along the way. So.
as you do as a business owner, right?
Very
that
much
just comes with the territory. You have no idea, but you got to start somewhere, and that's so cool. So I guess, what would you say? You're saying floral is your biggest, most booming thing right now.
Yeah.
What's your favorite flower then?
My favorite flower, I love tulips, but this time of year,
he's like, I gotta show you this. It's really good. Oh my gosh!
The Solidago here is one of my favorites. This guy here.
This.
Yeah. It's
it's a very fall.
Very much.
Very fall.
You see native Solidago growing around here. It's actually Ohio's pollinating plant that supports the most species.
So did you just have a passion for plants, and this was just like
easy?
Because you just know so much about plants, or did you just learn it all from this?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So I say my passion is entrepreneurship. I love building the organizations. Awesome. I love building the teams. We've got a phenomenal team here. of close to 20 people amongst the companies and locations.
Wow.
But the plants and flowers are really my hobby passion.
Sure.
And so it's really cool when you can bring a team together and something that you enjoy so much
Absolutely.
then becomes sort of a job.
Yeah.
But really building out the concepts is,
You're literally
is what
one of
goes
those
my
people that never works a day in their life then.
Pretty much. I never takes a day off at the same time, so
exactly.
it's an interesting
But
balance.
that's entrepreneurship in a whole. So
Very much.
That's awesome because you couldn't do this if you weren't dedicated to it. You couldn't do this if you didn't have a passion for it, I don't think, you
For
know?
sure.
And especially because it's a grind, right? You know, it's not like, you know, winter is coming, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure, so what's winter like for you guys? Because I assume some people are like, you know, it's winter, I don't need a plant. But that's not the case.
No, actually, winter's one of our busier times because when people are outside, and you know, in the spring you're doing all your gardening and stuff, and you're out doing activities. In the winter and fall, you're starting to come in. It's starting to get darker here in Ohio, and that's when you really need to kind of lean into your space and make it warm.
Exactly.
Gift giving, things like that. People in the summer go out and see people at cookouts and stuff, but sometimes you can't do that in the winter months and when the kids have school and all of the things. So sending flowers becomes bigger.
And I'm a proud plant mom myself.
Okay. We've got a plant mom shirt over there. When you leave.
I'm gonna have to get it. I mean, I have a money plant and a bonsai, so I mean,
in business
I'm
then.
kind of a big deal. Like I have 2 plants, but I would say that they definitely improve my mood overall. Like seeing them every day, I'm just like, I've taken care of that. It's good.
That's really why I think we kind of boomed during the pandemic from this little rose stand. Was because when people were locked up and were craving connection, something that they could take care of, still a low commitment, but that they can really nurture and watch grow. You know, it really does a lot for people in their mental health.
That's such a good point and so true to the whole vibe. Because just walking in here, you're happy.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
People say the air smells different.
It's very fresh in here. It's very exciting in here. It's very much like one of those things you're just like, I don't know, you just walked in here and I wanted to buy stuff.
I tell people all the time, it's like, you don't have to come and shop, just come and look at the space.
Come in and just smell the air.
Yeah, the space deserves to have life.
It really does.
So.
That's a great point. Like this needed livened up and you did it in the best possible way that I could think of. So that's really great. Well, I guess the next question I have for you is what's next? What's on the pipeline of success for you, sir?
Well, we're doing lots of cool different things here in Stark and Summit County. We're particularly, my team just took over management of Northside Marketplace up in Akron. So we're recruiting vendors and local businesses for that and trying to bring some fresh life into that space. And we're expanding the Lepley Co location there.
That's awesome.
We're investigating doing some really cool things with downtown Canton as well. Similar to Massillon, they've really done a lot of activity to revive and bring life in there.
Because right now you've got 2 locations?
We have 3. So we're downtown Akron, downtown Massillon, and then just a year ago we purchased Artland Florist, which is the historic florist in Uniontown.
Oh, wow.
Right by Byler's Market.
Wow.
So we've got lots of things going in lots of
Are you
different
proud
places.
of yourself? Because you should be.
Yeah, it's really, I'm proud of myself, but really my team that's made it happen. Nothing can
Look at
happen in
this
a
guy. I
vacuum.
love that. I really do. You're down to earth and you understand that
Well, thank
there's
you.
a lot more to this than just one person, right?
Yeah.
And it's your vision, but everybody's helped you put it together, and that's really amazing.
Very much. I love the plants. I'm not the person to keep them alive. I can tell you how to do it, but I get distracted. And so that's Amber takes care of all our plants here. At home, my fiance, he takes care of the plants there. And so I just bring them home.
You're just like, here you are. There you go. Well, that's very cool. And you definitely have an extreme passion project that's grown into something really awesome if you've got 3 stores now. So I guess what has, you know, because you're here in Massillon and this wasn't your first store, but this was your second store.
Second.
So I guess I would ask you, what has Massillon done for you? What do you feel like the community has meant to you here?
Well, the Massillon has such a strong element of community that you don't see in a lot of other places.
Right.
And a part of that's the identity. People love that something's in Massillon, that things are happening in and from Massillon, and so we've gotten a tremendous amount of support there.
Wonderful.
From the city initially, they helped give us an inducement grant, which went into remodeling the building.
Wow.
And so I from the day one, I felt really a part of this.
Good.
One thing I was saying is, like, this is this big building on a hill. It's been vacant. Like, I don't know if people come. And before we even had like anything done, people would just see my car in the
Yes.
driveway, and they would just stop and walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and it's like, okay, I don't think people will not feel welcome.
Good, that's awesome.
And so that's been a
Very good.
really cool piece.
So ultimately, the community has embraced you and brought you in, and you've done a great job, giving to the community too. I believe you have a lot of community involvement still.
Yeah, we do lots of different things personally and as an organization. One cool thing we do is called the Lepley Co Cares Fund, and so we allow people purchasing to round up their change, and sometimes we do like donation things like that to help support Stark County GSAs in the school.
Wow.
I'm on the board of Mentor Stark, which does some really cool things here in Massillon, but Stark County wide, working with different mentoring programs as well as students one-on-one.
Very busy guy.
And so lots of things in the fire.
Awesome.
But when you're in Northeast Ohio is such a unique and cool spot.
Yes.
There is so much to do, and so it's hard not to get involved when so many cool things are happening around us.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, Justin, if anybody wanted to find you, to look you up, where can they find you?
Yeah, we're Lepley, Lepley, and Co, spelled out on all socials. So we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So you can find a lot of updates there. And then lepleyandco.com is our website.
Awesome.
Or you can just call any of the shops. Like I said, we deliver in all of Stark and Summit County. And then we've got partners so we can send, nationwide with flowers and things like that. And we ship. So if you want to send a little bit of Ohio to someone somewhere else, we can help you with that too.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for sitting down with us. Is there any last giveaways that you want to just take a moment to say, or you feel very confident in everything that you just said, right?
Yeah, I think
No,
we covered a lot there. I would just
did.
say, we're open here. Sometimes it's a big old building. It's beautiful on the outside, but we've got some construction going on outside with the city, and sometimes it's hard to see in when it's cold and the doors are closed. So we're here. So come on out and see us.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sitting down with us today. And that's locally owned and locally grown. And you guys can follow us at Progressive Auto Group or Progressive Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram or Progressive Chevrolet. And we are here in Massillon. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.